Bantamweight bout, Daniel Marcos coming in at minus 240 against Victor Hugo coming in at plus 200. Over under 2.5 rounds, plus 120 for the over, minus 150 for the under. Victor Hugo coming off the Contender Series, stepping in to take on Daniel Marcos, who is still undefeated. See, the ages are similar there. The Brazilian trying to defend the home turf against the Peruvian. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, I love Daniel Marcos as a fighter. Against Simon Oliveira in his UFC debut, he was plus money. He was like plus 110, plus 115. And I hammered him, and he looked like he was levels above against Oliveira. That kickboxing is good. His striking in general is super solid. Even against Davy Grant, like he probably lost that fight. I think that was a bad decision on the judges' scorecards, especially that fight being in London. Davy Grant's home field advantage, home crowd, everything, and they still couldn't give a close fight to Grant. There shocked me, but Daniel Marcos was able to deal with some of the pressure and some of the shots he was able to eat from Davy Grant. Even did some damage of his own, cut Grant open, landed some good shots, and against Victor Hugo. If he keeps this fight on the feet and doesn't do anything stupid, I think he'll have a lot of success against Hugo. I don't see Hugo coming out here and being able to compete with him on the feet. I don't see him going out there and being able to take Daniel Marcos down with ease. If he does get to Daniel Marcos and finishes him, I do think it's some slick back take, rear naked choke style of finish, something where Daniel Marcos, made a mistake and gave up the back. But I don't see him really coming out here and competing with Marcos on an MMA, complete game. I don't see him being on that same level just yet. I wasn't high on Hugo. He got that knee bar in Dana White's Contender Series, and it was slick the way he did it. I just don't know how much that type of stuff works at the UFC level. Marcos is a guy 3-0 or 2-0. Sorry, one on the Contender Series so far in the UFC. And I think he keeps going up. His stock keeps going up. I think he finds a win here. And I love, like I said, I love watching Daniel Marcos. I'll be excited to see what he does next. And I definitely think he beats Victor Hugo Saturday.
Yeah, Marcos' UFC debut was in Brazil, so it's not a different thing for him to go over there and fight. He picked up a win his last time. He's looking to do that again here. For Hugo Silva, the submission ability scares me a little bit because Daniel Marcos, we've seen a lot of his wins are basically stand and striking battles. I don't know if the submission ability has been tested too much. Victor Hugo fought. I mean, by the time he fights on November 4th, it'll be a month since his last fight on the Contender Series. So I don't know if he's just stepping in there a little bit too quickly. I mean, to fight that 2 fights in a month is a lot to ask. Daniel Marcos is still undefeated and he looks dang good. The one thing watching that Contender Series fight with Victor Hugo, like the guy he fought was mainly a striker. And the striker was looking for the grappling, automatically gets himself into a knee bar. So I don't think Daniel Marcos is going to be that dumb to try to grapple Victor Hugo when he's got the striking advantage. Daniel Marcos will be the pick for me. But I wouldn't be surprised if Hugo looks for the grappling early and it maybe turns into a closer fight because I don't think Marcos has been tested that much in that realm of his game. So he'll be the pick. But yeah,